Hi, my name is Sam.
And I'm Geeta. Today, we would like to share with you a story about
The BAB. Shortly before Syed Qasim's death in 1843, he instructed his students to go out and search for the Promised One, saying he was about to be revealed.
It was this quest that led Mullah Hussain, his brother, and a nephew to the city of Shiraz on May 22, 1844.
Having traveled far in his search, Mullah Hussain sent his companions to the mosque to await him while he wandered a while, promising to rejoin them for evening prayers.
While walking outside the gates of the city, a few hours before sunset, he was unexpectedly greeted by a young man. Mullah Hussain thought, this man must be a disciple of Syed Qasim, who had heard of his arrival in Shiraz and had come to welcome him.
Even so, the manner of the greeting was astonishing. He described the expressions of affection and loving kindness, as well as the gentle and compelling manner in which the young man spoke to him.
Overwhelmed with his acts of extreme kindness, I arose to depart. The time for evening prayer is approaching, I ventured to observe. I have promised my friends to join them at that hour in the mosque.
With extreme courtesy and calm, he replied,
You must surely have made the hour of your return conditional upon the will and pleasure of God. It seems that His will has decreed otherwise. You need have no fear of having broken your pledge.
His dignity and self-assurance silenced me. Renewed my ablutions and prepared for prayer. He, too, stood beside me and prayed. It was about an hour after sunset when my youthful host began to converse with me.
Whom, after Syed Qasim, do you regard as his successor and your leader?
He asked me. To which I replied. At the hour of his death, our departed teacher insistently exhorted us to forsake our homes, to scatter far and wide, in quest of the promised beloved. I have, accordingly, journeyed to Persia, have arisen to accomplish his will, and am still engaged in my quest. He further inquired.
Has your teacher given you any detailed indications as to the distinguishing features of the Qaim?
Yes, I replied.
He is of a pure lineage, is of illustrious descent, and of the seed of Fatimi. As to his age, he is more than 20, and less than 30. He is endowed with innate knowledge. He is of medium height, abstains from smoking, and is free from bodily deficiency.
He paused for a while and then, with vibrant voice declared,
Behold, all these signs are manifest in me.
The young man, whose name was Sid Ali Muhammad, proceeded to demonstrate that each of the signs given by Syed Qasim were indeed applicable to him. Yet, Mullah Hussain was unsure. He had prepared 2 tests for anyone claiming to be the Promised One, and decided to place them before Syed Ali Muhammad in order to prove the matter one way or the other. Those tests were as follows.
The first test was to produce an in-depth treatise regarding concealed teachings of Sheikh Ahmad and Syed Qasim. The second was to unravel the mysteries of the Surah of Joseph. This was a chapter of the Quran. However, he only uttered the first test to the BAB. Mullah Hussain recounted the following.
I had previously requested Syed Qasim, in private, to write a commentary on that same surah, which he refused, saying, This is, verily, beyond me. He, that great one, who comes after me will, unasked, reveal it for you. That commentary will constitute one of the weightiest testimonies of his truth, and one of the clearest evidences of the loftiness of his position.
So, Mullah Hussain asked his host to comment on the treatise he had written. The result of that request only further astonished him.
He graciously complied with my wish. He opened the book, glanced at certain passages, closed it, and began to address me. Within a few minutes, he had, with characteristic vigor and charm, unraveled all its mysteries and resolved all its problems. Having to my entire satisfaction accomplished, within so short a time, the task I had expected him to perform, he further expounded to me certain truths which could be found neither in the reported sayings of the Imams of the faith, nor in the writings of Sheikh Ahmad and C. Kazim. These truths, which I had never heard before, seemed to be endowed with refreshing vividness and power.
He then proceeded to say,
Now is the time to reveal the commentary on the Sri of Joseph.
He took up his pen, and with incredible rapidity, revealed the entire Surah of Mulk, the first chapter of his commentary on the Surah of Joseph.
Mullah Hussain described that the BAB did not pause once until the entire Surah of Mulk was completed. Finally, when he begged leave to depart, he recounted the following.
This night, this very hour, will, in the days to come, be celebrated as one of the greatest and most significant of all festivals. Render thanks to God for having graciously assisted you to attain your heart's desire, and for having quaffed from the sealed wine of his utterance.
From that day forward, Sid Ali Muhammad referred to himself as the BAB, the gate, and Mullah Hussain became his first disciple. Although the BAB was indeed the promised one, foretold by Sheikh Ahmad and Sid Qasim, he taught that he was but the herald of another messenger, Baha'u'llah, who would appear very soon after him, and the power of whose revelation would far exceed any previously sent down by God. The day the BAB declared his mission is now, as he had promised, celebrated by Baha'is around the world as one of the greatest and most significant of all festivals.
Thank you for listening to us.
Until we meet again. For now, sayonara.